Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for being here. My name is Andrew, coming to you from beautiful Costa Rica. Tonight's topic is going to be understanding narcissistic abuse. Think about that for a minute. Guys, if you like the content, please subscribe. And remember, if you want a one-on-one coaching session with me, please drop an email at narcdailyvideos@gmail.com. So guys, understanding narcissistic abuse. Narcissistic abuse is coming to the forefront more and more each and every day, week, and month. Just as I mentioned on March 31st in 2021 that this would happen, it's happening. And guess what? It's going to become more and more to the forefront. And with the advent of YouTube and information age that we are in and the internet and everything, the awareness is happening. The awakenings are happening. People are becoming educated, enlightened, and empowered on narcissistic abuse and the narcissistic abusive cycle. But understanding narcissistic abuse is something that unless you've experienced it firsthand, again, you may not fully grasp it because this has not been your world. It has not been your reality that has been twisted and turned inside out and upside down. It has not been your identity that has been stolen. It has not been your resources that have been stolen. It has not been a smear campaign that you have experienced that right now you probably can't even fathom. The list goes on and on. This video will inform you basically about what narcissistic abuse is and how it affects those that actually were in a narcissistic relationship. The narcissistic abusive relationship is not anything you're prepared for. Most people on the planet enter relationships each and every day believing that the individual they're in the relationship with is a healthy individual. This could be friendship, extended family, neighbor. It could be in the church, it could be in the workplace, it could be a romantic relationship, it could be anything. But we are understanding and believing that if we are a certain way, that this person we're becoming involved with, that you're hoping that they will be a certain way too. Now in the narcissistic abusive relationship, this person who we are referring to, they're not. They wore a mask, they tricked you, and they trapped you, and they manipulated you. And they played a role in your life to extract as much supply and resources from you as possible. Now again, for you people watching this video who don't understand what narcissistic abuse is firsthand because you haven't experienced it, understand this. Just pretend that you are in a relationship that you believe is one way, and at the end of it, it turns out to be something completely different. However, only you have this information because the person you're in the relationship with to the exterior, which is the outside world, they are appearing one way, which is kind, loving, generous, empathetic, all these things. But behind closed doors, you're experiencing something completely different. Kind of like that movie, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. When you are home behind closed doors, most times that's when the abuse happens. And the abuse is verbal, and the abuse is gaslighting, and it's stonewalling. And you're experiencing rage fits. All these things that the outside world could never agree with. They would be like, there's no way that person could do that. It's impossible. What are you talking about? They're the most kind, loving person ever. This is the crux of the narcissistic abusive relationship. They want everybody believing, the narcissist wants the outside world, including social media, people you have in common, everybody. They want people believing that they're infallible, that they do everything right. They donate their time, their money, their everything to the good causes. When in fact, behind closed doors, it's quite the opposite. They rip the mask off and do nothing but abuse their partner or their friend or whomever it is. Now, understanding narcissistic abuse is something that my hope with my channel and many others, and again, thank you very much for being here, you will spread the word, you will watch this video, you will understand, you'll get a nugget of information and pass it forward and help other people who have not experienced it insulate and or protect themselves from ever entering a narcissistic relationship. Or this is maybe to fine-tune your skills and to understand, wow, that happened to me, or I understand completely, and we need to spread more awareness. The thing is, narcissistic abuse is a silent abuse that is coming to the forefront more and more, and that's a good thing. But my hope, again, is that narcissistic abuse is eradicated and people don't tolerate this poor behavior. Example, again, you're on an airplane, and you are just sitting on the airplane waiting to go from point A to point B, and you're in the air now. And there's some belligerent person who is screaming at the top of their lungs, making a scene because there's too many ice cubes in their water. You may say, well, who would do that? A narcissist, because they need attention and they need to get supply from that whole airplane by screaming at the top of their lungs or creating a scene. Why? Because they can do it. And because what's going to happen to them, they're already in the air. They already have ruined many people's trips, the flight that is. And this is exactly how they get supply. I'm not saying every person that's on an airplane that has too many ice cubes in their water will do this. I'm saying that's a sign for someone who needs attention and needs to control the situation and the narrative. Another way a narcissist could do things is simply in the romantic relationship by abusing people, by gaslighting them, by making them feel invalidated, by stonewalling them or not paying attention to them at all, or ghosting them, or not replying to texts, or acting like they have selective hearing, like, pardon me, I don't know what you said. In other words, just completely playing mind games with an innocent person who turned out to be you, most likely. These are things that, unless you are educated on the glossary and the terms and the definitions of narcissistic abuse, you won't even understand what one of these terms is. Example, flying monkey. If you're new to the channel, I'm certain you don't know what a flying monkey is. What that is, that's a person that surrounds themselves with the narcissist and reports back information on your whereabouts, what you're doing, your progress, how you're everything. And flying monkeys don't need to be exactly, they don't have to know exactly that they're reporting back to the narcissist. They just pass on information. Anyone can be a flying monkey. People can be flying monkeys without even knowing it. The point is, there are so many terms that you need to understand. And until you go through narcissistic abuse, and until you get your first light bulb moment, like, oh my God, that happened to me, I can't believe it. And then you go down the rabbit hole. Until that happens, most people won't even give narcissistic abuse even the time of day. Why? Because they haven't experienced it and they find it unfathomable to be able to put themselves in another's shoes who have experienced this. Remember, the narcissistic relationship, it's insidious. It creeps up on you. And before you know it, many times it's too late. Many times the narcissist has already ingratiated themselves into your life, into your home, into your business, into your workplace, certainly with your friends, certainly with your family members. And the narcissist always appears to be one way when behind closed doors, you're being abused. But you can't quite put your finger on it. You just know something's wrong and that this person isn't quite always there. And maybe they're on their cell phones all the time, on apps, doing things that when they tell you, oh no, I'm fine, I'm working, I'm doing this, when in fact they're just getting more supply from anywhere all around the world. Now guys, for this video I'm kind of bouncing around as usually I do, but my point is, if you have experienced narcissistic abuse, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And it is a really difficult thing to go through. It's an extremely difficult thing to process how somebody could feign their love for you or their adoration for you or their commitment to you, and then months or years later, you don't even know them because the mask slipped and they couldn't carry that facade any longer and they just discarded you and left to find a new source of supply. It's exactly what the narcissist does. That's why the narcissist many times doesn't have many stable, reliable, long-term friendships. It's true. Same thing with romantic relationships. They come and go like the wind, whether you're married or not. Marriage is nothing to the narcissist other than a privilege, a right to abuse their spouse behind closed doors because the state or the country has said that they are legally married, which to the narcissist is nothing but a cover-up for the outside world. Like, oh, I'm married, I'm in a great stable relationship, and behind closed doors, their spouse is being abused. Yes, it's exactly what it is. Because the narcissist can't love, they can't introspect, they have no empathy, and they only care about one person on the planet, which is not you. It's themselves. That's why so many times when the mask slips at the end of a narcissistic relationship, the person who is not the narcissist is shocked. They can't believe who they're seeing in front of them. They can't believe how cold this person can be. They can't believe that this person is appearing as someone completely different than they were during the relationship. The reason why is because, like I mentioned previously, the narcissist has no more tolerance to carry the mask, to wear it, because they've already manipulated and taken most of your resources, which includes, but is not limited to, your health, your looks, your social circle, your status, your resources, your finances, your mental capacity, your physical capacity, everything. And the narcissist knows this because they become a pro and expert on abusing people right in front of the general public, although the general public has no awareness, so they can't quite see what's going on. Remember this. Remember many times you'd be at a party or a picnic or a barbecue or vacation or whatever, and the narcissist would completely say something only that you could pick up. It's giving you a jab or a poke that only you could pick up, but anyone else at the event, they had no idea what was going on. That was meant to, again, diminish you, to demean you, to make you feel less than, to put the narcissist high up on the pedestal while you were way down below. Narcissistic abuse, again, it's insidious, it's disgusting, it's vile. It's one person literally being a parasite, living off of a host, which in this case was you for a period of time. When I put it that way, it's kind of graphic, but it's true. Because in a healthy, reciprocal relationship, you have two people working together, building towards a future with the same goals, with mutual respect, with mutual love, with mutual adoration, and with mutual resources. With a narcissistic relationship, it is toxic. Many times the narcissist is just using you to get from point A to point B, to increase their status, to increase their popularity, to increase their brand, to increase their wealth, to increase anything they can. And that is not healthy. And then, when it's too late, most times, that something happens, and then when perhaps you stand up for yourself and you say, no, and you place a boundary in place, or you call them out and say, what are you doing? Like, who behaves this way? That's when the narcissist is getting closer to sensing that you're onto them. That is the ticking time bomb, which is just a matter of time before you're discarded, and they're off looking for a new supply, which most likely they've already gathered while you were with the narcissist. That's what they do. So is the narcissist committed? Do they love? Do they care? No, no, no. Will they change? Absolutely not. Do they look back and say, wow, I should have been a better person? No, why would they? Everything they've done so far, all the manipulation, the lies, deceit, and destruction, it has served them to get them to this point in time. They're not going to change. Remember, there is such a thing called the aging narcissist. With each and every birthday, they get older. Each and every birthday, they lose their skills. Each and every birthday, they become more and more hungry for supply, for people that don't have the knowledge. It's exactly what the narcissist does. That's why they jump from people to people, town to town, city to city, job to job, location to location, where there's fresh people that don't know who they are. It's exactly what they do. So guys, understanding narcissistic abuse, this is just a mini video for you to understand that there are so many different layers to this, but if you're experiencing it, get help. If you're in a relationship, look to end it. And if you are entering some relationship and you believe something's not quite right, pay attention to the red flags, trust your instincts, and follow your gut, because you are in charge of yourself. You control yourself. Do not fall for any narcissistic abuse any longer. Guys, I hope you liked the video. I loved doing it from beautiful Costa Rica. This is Andrew. Namaste. Have a great evening. Stay blessed, stay true. Continue to spread awareness on narcissistic abuse. And my hope is wherever you are on the planet, you are safe. And remember, you are loved and you are not alone. God bless you. Have a great night, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Good night.